infant has been found. We were hopeful for this. Ex-cop kidnapped him. For multiple reports, 40-year-old Elias Huizar, the ex-Washington police officer who murdered 2 women Monday before abducting 1-year-old Roman Santos, was found dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound after a police chase in Oregon. Per CBS News, Oregon State Police on Tuesday afternoon discovered Huizar's vehicle driving south on Interstate 5 near Eugene, resulting in a pursuit. Suspect got into a minor crash. Both he and police fired upon each other before the suspect drove away again. Oregon State Police Captain Kyle Kennedy said Tuesday night. No one was hurt in the initial exchange of the gunfire, according to Kennedy. Again, CBS News with the details. The suspect then crashed into another vehicle a few miles away. When police caught up with him, they found him dead of the self-inflicted gunshot wound. Authorities initially believed Huizar had intention to flee to Mexico and was last seen driving a black sedan overnight Monday into Tuesday, per a previous report from West Richland police about the manhunt. They later received the tip from police in Portland, Oregon. 1-year-old Roman Santos was taken safely into custody by Oregon State troopers and is reportedly doing well. Look at the baby there. And in a car seat. Just incredible. What are the odds? Given the violence that we know of.
With millions watching and many people benefiting from this program called Indisputable, we just need 1% of the viewers to become a paid member so we can continue to bring this content to you. Now back to the show.
On Monday, Huizar allegedly shot his ex-wife, Amber Marie Rodriguez, on the left 8 times outside of William Wiley Elementary School in West Richland, where she worked, per the probable cause statement. Former couple's 9-year-old son told officers he witnessed his father shoot his mother. Can never heal from that. Shooting occurred before authorities executed a search warrant on his home and discovered the body of another homicide victim, Huizar's 17-year-old girlfriend, Angelica Santos, the mother of 1-year-old Roman Santos. Reports confirm Roman was their child. New York Post reporting. According to court filings earlier this year, Huizar met Angelica Santos while he was working as a school resource officer at Washington Middle School in Yakima. She was 11 years old when they met, 15 when he impregnated her. Rodriguez wrote in her request for a protection order against Huizar. This is just horrific. CBS affiliate Hero reiterated that Huizar previously worked as a police officer in Yakima, which is about an hour from West Richland by car. His tenure with the police department lasted from 2014 to 2022. How much damage did he do? Yakima PD stated on Facebook, Huizar left after receiving discipline in late 2021. After receiving discipline. Per CBS affiliate KEPR, it was earlier this year that Huizar was accused in Yakima of sexually assaulting a 16-year-old. Charged with second-degree sexual assault, furnishing alcohol for minors. Separately, Huizar faces a third-degree sexual assault charge for allegedly having an intimate relationship over several years with Angelica Santos. So while already my mind is racing, absolutely gut-wrenching details. A 9-year-old says he watched his mother die, shot 8 times. A baby, the baby's young mother, shot and killed. A baby herself when the suspect in this case met her, according to her own affidavit for protective order. But already my mind is racing. Couldn't someone like this have been stopped sooner? Okay, 8 years with the Yakima Police Department, school resource officer. I kept my head down when I would go into the office, but I still knew everybody's business. You can't help but knowing everybody's business and what everybody's up to and who got in trouble and who's doing something slick. It's part of me. I can't accept that this had to happen. Can you make sense of it?
It's tough to even comprehend that a guy like this could operate in the ways that he was. The idea that he's working at a school, of course, parents send their kids to school every single day with the belief and the faith that, there are responsible adults there taking care of their children, protecting their children even from harm. And so just the idea that this guy was operating this way is tough to fathom, and that, he could come in contact with an 11-year-old and just 4 short years later be essentially this person. Because I find it hard to believe that a 14 or 15-year-old even could consent to some
They
kind
can't.
of real
They can't.
relationship with an adult. This guy essentially committed rape on this young woman, and impregnated her, and that this guy was operating this way. And then, it gets to the point where he's murdering, goes on a murdering spree. It's just tough to fathom this level of depravity and, dare I even say, evil in our world. And I don't say that lightly. I honestly
Mhm.
try to avoid becoming too enraged with our fellow citizens, right? Like, everybody comes from a family, everybody had a mom who loved them, everybody had, people in their lives that cared about them. You tend to wonder where people can go astray. But man, this guy offered himself is probably the best outcome for everybody, if we're
Yeah.
being honest.
Well, and here's the thing. I tend to agree with you that people aren't born with this kind of evil, whatever your version of evil is. However, I tend to think that there are some who are so bad, and I reserve a special spot for them, that perhaps they came to us this way. I don't know. And when you mentioned the 17-year-old now murdered, I'm sure he had sex with her before she turned 15. Age 11, they met. I mean, those are her words. A dead woman, young dead woman's words. My spidey sense, which is mediocre at best, but I am a reporter, tells me that someone like this did this again and again. There are other victims out there, and I agree with you. I don't need him breathing amongst us, and I don't wish anyone dead. I think you have to be held accountable, but I don't see the use for this individual among us, Woz. I hope that other victims out there, because I assure you there are more, are able to find some kind of spirit of moving forward. I hope that this little 1-year-old will be given a fresh start with a thoughtful approach. I'll give you the last word.
Yeah, a guy who's capable of murdering a woman in cold blood, who he once called his wife, in front of their child, no less. It's hard to see a redemptive arc for that person. And so, yeah, just to reiterate, this outcome for him on a highway being chased by police, we avoid a court case and a long drawn out process for the families. This is probably the best outcome for society, if we're being honest about this.
It's just sick.